Did the old prophets actually meet angels on top of mountains? Or were they highly intelligent beings from a galaxy far, far away? Welcome to UFOlogy, where we explore the truth about alien life, because let's face it, we're not alone, and the evidence is everywhere. In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 more alien cryptid encounters. There are so many reported sightings of mysterious creatures out there. Many of these remain enigmas, and may even be extraterrestrial beings. If you're curious to know more, let's dive into the video. Mothman. First up, the Mothman. It's a famous cryptid, so you may have heard of it. Like its fellow cryptids, the Flatwoods Monster and Indrid Cold, the Mothman is connected to West Virginia. No one has any idea why that state deals with so many alien cryptid encounters. Maybe it's a hotspot for some kind of strange energy. Anyway, the Mothman was first sighted at Point Pleasant in 1966. 5 men were in a cemetery preparing a grave for burial. Then, they saw something eerie. A brown-winged creature was perched in the nearby trees. When they spotted it, it took off. They later described it as a massive, hairy bird with red eyes. The bird was as tall as a man. Despite its avian nature, similarities to the comic villain Killer Moth soon led to the cryptid being labeled Mothman. Mothman was also spotted in many other places across West Virginia. It even popped up in surrounding states. The largest number of sightings happened near the old West Virginia Ordnance Works. This was a place that locals called the TNT area. On November 15th, 3 days after the first sighting, 2 young couples would encounter this bizarre creature in the TNT area. Roger and Linda Scarberry were driving in Roger's car. They were accompanied by another couple, Steve and Mary Millette. Suddenly, Linda noticed 2 large glowing red eyes in the darkness beside the Old North Power Plant. She screamed. They stopped to investigate and saw the Mothman standing there. It stood 7 feet tall, with wings folded against its back. Then, Mothman spread its wings and began chasing them. They got back in the car and fled. Despite Roger driving at 100 miles per hour, Mothman was somehow able to keep up with them. They arrived in town, startled and confused. There was no sign of Mothman. Roger parked the car at the edge of town. They stopped to discuss their encounter. Eventually, the group decided that it was a normal bird. In an attempt to face their fears, they decided to drive back towards the TNT area. It wasn't long before they spotted Mothman again. It seemed to be waiting on them beside Route 62. The instant that the car's headlights landed on it, it flew into the air and disappeared in the blink of an eye. The encounter was so terrifying that Linda Scarberry suffered a nervous breakdown the next day. Even Roger Scarberry was shaken, despite admitting he was usually hard to scare. Later, police investigations came up empty-handed. The media caught wind of the story. As it spread around the country, others came forward to report similar sightings. This continued for the next 13 months, with an estimated over 100 sightings. Was the Mothman just a strange bird? Some people believe it to be an alien. Others claim the creature was a normal animal, appearing larger due to tricks of the light. Tall white aliens. Our second cryptid on the list is actually a group, the Tall White Aliens. The Tall White Aliens resemble the Greys, another species of alien. But they're much taller, between 6 to 7 feet tall. They have slender bodies and pale chalk white skin. These creatures seem to enjoy dry, arid environments. According to Charles Hall, an ex-American military weather specialist, the U.S. military's been in contact with this species for years. He claims to have witnessed interactions between them. This was during his time working at Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. The tall white aliens traveled in a group. There were 2 males and 3 females. Hall described it as looking at a ghost or an angel. According to him, the U.S. Air Force was collaborating with these extraterrestrials. They had reached agreements to transfer technology. He said the government hushed up this encounter. This was because people weren't emotionally ready to accept alien life forms. Unfortunately, no photographic evidence exists of these creatures. No cameras were allowed at the site. We'll just have to take his word for it. Still, if he is telling the truth, why would these aliens freely give their technology away? Maybe they want to uplift us, like all those aliens who supposedly helped ancient civilizations thrive. We've covered this in previous videos if you're curious to know more. Van Meter Visitor. Lastly, there's the Van Meter Visitor, named after the small town of Van Meter in Iowa. This creature was sighted in 1903. Several respected members of the community spotted a strange beast. They claimed it was a mysterious winged creature. For a few nights, it began terrorizing the town's residents. According to descriptions, the beast had large bat-like wings. It appeared to be half human, half animal. The visitor also left a terrible stench wherever it went. Strangest of all, it fired beams of bright light from its forehead. There are many mysterious beings out there in the world. These are just a few of them, and many more remain hidden from sight. Sometimes they reveal themselves. Sometimes they're discovered by curious explorers. Either way, as time passes, we'll uncover more and more secrets hidden out there. But perhaps we should be careful, because some secrets can be dangerous. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to tune in next week.